Hi, I'm Miro, and welcome back to Driftwood. So, last time we did it. We did it. So, apparently Taryn likes us, and I like Taryn too. At least I do. I don't know about Marcus. So, yeah, I think we are on Taryn's route. I'm not really sure, but we could be. So yeah, let's continue and see if we are. The moment I make it to the hallway Matt and I share, my phone starts to shake with life. I stand there shocked, the small vibration reminding me of what I had to do today. It is Sunday after all. Slowly but surely I pull my phone out and check to see who it is, and I'm greeted by the sight of a more than familiar name, Mikaela. Unable to bring myself to any conclusion, I just stare at the name for a few seconds until my phone stops vibrating. I'm not sure what to do. Where do I start? What do I say? Should I just listen to what she has to say, or just say what I have to say first? The phone starts vibrating again, beckoning me to answer it. Michaela's name is still there, gawking at me, provoking me to pick up. I take a deep breath and do so, accepting the call and bringing it to my ear. Hello? Hey. The two of us pause as if letting one another have the first words, but neither of us say anything and the line is just silent. We're both waiting for the other to start. Michaela knows she hurt me, and I know that I'm not all too happy about the outcome of the ordeal we both went through. It's been a while. Yeah. How is Canada? It's good. And your new school? It's good. It's the most simple but effective way I can really elaborate how I feel about the new school. It's not like I love it, but it's certainly better than having to deal with everyone at my old school treating me differently because of what happened. Or better yet, having to deal with the fact Michaela isn't there. She was one of the only things I even liked about my old school. That's good. Making friends, I hope? The question surprisingly makes me think about whether or not I have been making friends. Since I arrived here, I already feel like I've interacted with more people than I had in the whole 3 school years at my old school. Matt, Eric, Jay, Yuko, Taryn. Hell, everyone here has been nice. Perhaps there are a few exceptions, but that's aside the point. A smile spreads across my face and I take in a deep breath, enjoying the sound of the rain pattering against the roof of the building. Yeah, it's been good. There is a pause on her hand, as if she's questioning whether or not I'm telling the truth. I'm happy for you. Yeah. The conversation dies off with my reply. I can't help but feel nervous. Even if Mikhail and I were friends and actually even went out on a date to try and start something out between us, there's still this invisible wall between us. At least there's one for me, and I can't help but feel nostalgic for my old life, just from hearing her voice again. Yet, there's no hope to go back to it. All I can do is look through the wall to the other side. If we had just not stepped down the street at that exact time. For all I know, I could be happy as ever. Mikhail and I could still be together. Actually together. Not just on silly dates, but as a couple. How is your shoulder? Michaela's question breaks me from my small daydream of the possibility of still living my old life and being with her happily ever after. I take a second to look down on myself, as if checking to see if I actually was okay. The mention of my arm brings on a flood of thoughts and memories that swirl my brain like gnats. It's better, no more casts, and I can move it around a little bit. Well, that's good. Her tone is joyous, as if my arm being nearly healed was the end of the story that derived from the accident. The faint happiness I gain from speaking with her vanishes and is replaced with the mindset I've been trying to get myself into over the past few weeks. I read that too fast, I'm sorry. My old life is over. It's time to start new, and I know Michaela will do nothing but hinder me from getting over the accident. Michaela? Yes, Marcus? What did you want? I just wanted to see how you were, silly. No, you called for a reason. What do you want? My voice is in my... Fuck. I knew it. I had to read it wrong one time. My voice is instinctively stern and demanding, which is a surprise even to me, because I never spoke to anyone like this before. Huh? What did you really want? You decided to text me out of the blue after months of ignoring my existence. Our end of the line is silent. I take in a deep breath, deciding it was best for me to answer my own question for her. You want closure, don't you? Mark, well, if that's what you want, you can have it. Michaela's voice murmurs through the phone, as if pained by what I'm saying. What are you talking about? You text me because you feel guilty, and you wanted to get rid of your guilt. Well, you don't have to feel guilty anymore, alright? What happened, happened. I'm over you and the whole incident, and you trying to wiggle your way back into my life, reminding me of everything isn't healthy for me. Marcus, please, don't be like this. I was just calling because I'm concerned. After months? After 4 months? Yeah, right. I take in a deep breath, having to keep myself in check and not to go off the deep end of my melancholy and hatred towards Michaela. Even if it wasn't her fault, she's the only one I can blame for playing with my emotions like she did. Whether you are concerned or not, I don't think it's good for us to speak anymore. I've moved on, and so have you. So let's keep it that way. Marcus, I never meant to hurt you like I did. I know you didn't, but this is for the best. But please, don't call or text me ever again. Understood? The line is silent, and I can only hear Michaela sniffling softly. It seems I made her cry out of my own selfishness. I'm tempted to take back what I said to make her happy. Sure, we could still be friends at that. We could go back to how it was before the incident, but that would be counterproductive. It's like taking care of a cancerous welt and trying to live with it, even though you know deep inside it's killing you. Wow, that's deep. That's deep, man. I can't deal with talking to Michaela and having to undergo the nostalgic thoughts that perhaps we could have been happy together. No, that would be unhealthy. I need to move on with my life. Thank you for everything, Michaela. You're a wonderful person, but being friends wouldn't benefit anyone. It would just hurt me. The silence on the other hand is finally disrupted by a small, crying voice. Thank you. It hurts to ignore the tears someone you still partially care about. It's hard not to take back everything I said and to just go back to my little dream world where everyone is happy. But I know for a fact it would just kill me inside to do that. I got to be strong. You're welcome, Michaela. I hung up the phone. Finally, I can move on with my life. Damn, son. The sound of my phone's alarm clock is an obnoxious but necessary noise that does the trick of waking me every day. Sometimes it's the only thing that can truly get me moving because of how painful to the sound is to my ears. What? That too shouldn't be there. Fortunately, it's one of those mornings where once I'm out of bed I'm wide awake, but I think it has more to do with what day it is than anything else. Somehow I've managed to survive the troubles of being the new kid at school, at least for the first week. And stranger yet, I've already been greeted with the reward of a holiday weekend for Thanksgiving. We have school off Monday and Tuesday. Not to mention today practically doesn't even count as school because of all the Harvest Festival preparation going on instead of regular classes. In an overview, this week has gone really well. My paper for Mr. Model passed with a decent grade and I've kept up with all my courses to the extent that the teachers are starting to like me. Wait, you already did the project? Didn't even notice that. Wow. After school consists mostly of me hanging around with either Elric and Jay or Taryn and a pink-eyed neck of a friend May, who hasn't shut up about how excited she is for the Harvest Festival. I'm not really that excited about the Harvest Festival because from what I've learned about it over the past week, it's mostly just the students bending over backwards to entertain little kids. And honestly, I've never really been good with little kids, so this will probably be a challenge. Either way, I have Yuko's party to look forward to. I've never really been much of a party guy either, but the idea of getting to just hang out with everyone outside of class seems kind of fun. Stepping outside into the gardens through that today should go according to plan. The weather is beyond acceptable, and campus is buzzing with life. Buzzing. No one's dragging their feet and everyone is looking enthusiastic and motivated for the day. It's a nice change of pace seeing everyone awake and ready to go so early in the morning, especially with the growing cold weather that always accompanies autumn. Over the past week, Taryn and I have gotten into a habit of walking to school together and chatting, usually about nothing important. Yes, we are on Taryn's route. I'm so sure about this. Today seems no different because as I step forward the exit of the dorm's gardens, I see Taryn standing there waiting for me. I think I found that the most odd about my relationship with her. Taryn doesn't seem very interested in me, and the only signs of interest she does hold for me are based around my injury. And for the most part, we don't even talk about my history or me. Instead, we talk about school and what we personally think about everything and everyone. Yet, for whatever reason, she has been waiting for me each day in the exact same spot, always looking towards the guy's Always looking towards the guy's dorm rooms expectantly. Maybe Elizabeth or Hugo are there to make sure I go to class? Or spy on me? I'm not really sure, but it's hard to believe that she might actually have the attention span to just want to chat with me every day. I'm not that exciting, at least I don't think so, but the way she offers to gesture me over hints otherwise. Hey Taryn. Taryn has a bright stupid smile on her face as I approach, and I'm not really sure if it's one worth trusting. Hey! I tilt my head, looking to her cautiously. What's with the smile? What? I'm too short, don't have big enough boobs and now I'm not allowed to smile either? She says this with unexpected confidence, night grin that makes me rub the back of my head in an attempt to backtrack. You're allowed to smile? She waves her finger at me like I'm a dog who just crapped on an expensive rug and puked all over the kitchen floor. Vivid. I know I am, but I'm smiling because I have a proposition for you. A proposition? Yeah, a deal, a plan, an idea. Oh, I have to sneeze. Oh. It's not coming out again. God damn it. About what? I never really thought of Taryn as the scheming type, but maybe she has something good in mind. Alright, so you're the new guy and everything. Right? Okay, so here's the plan. Today the whole school is going to get worked like mules. Except for you and me. Sounds good, right? She gives me the confident grin again, and I can't help but smack my face with the flat of my palm. That'd be a great plan if you actually explain how that was going to work. I know, I never had to invite you along. I could have this day off completely to myself. But since you like us, you're going to ask us. Jesus Christ. I'm so happy I got to the route of the girl I like. It's a good feeling. Alright. Care to explain then? Taryn takes in a deep breath before looking around, watching as the garden area cleared before leaning in. Wow, people do sure take a lot of deep breaths in this game. You're going to pretend to have one of your little panic attack thingies. Again with a close-up. What? You're going to fake one? and I'm going to take care of you for the day. I'm thinking way wrong. I'm almost half tempted to smack Terry straight across the face for trying to take advantage of my personal issues, just so we can skip out on today. You're an idiot. What do you mean? It's brilliant! Oh, she's so cute. Perhaps this is why Terry has been waiting here each day for me? Am I just a tool for her to get what she wants? The thought of that is beyond depressing. I'm not letting you use me like I'm some kind of item. Terry tilts her head to the side for a moment and then purses her lips in frustration. I figured you would get mad about that. Alright, plan B. If that was plan A, I'm pretty sure plan B might be just as ignorant and even more slap-worthy. Well, I didn't really have a plan B, we could just skip it. Skip. Without it. Well, at least that isn't insensitive, but I'm still skeptical about Terrence's plan. Why is it so important that we miss school today? Because I don't like dealing with spoiled brats. The irony of her statement is enough to give me a small grin. Well, look who's talking. Terren glares at me irritably, her lower lip bulging outwards in protest before she regains her composure. It takes her a moment, but eventually she nods in realization to what I was saying. Touché. Alright, fine, I'll deal with it for today, but you owe me. I owe you? Terren simply knows as she watches the last few students from the dorms strike out towards the school. I have to yawn. Yep. How? Well, I gave you a perfectly good chance to skip dealing with little kids, but you didn't take it. Now, I don't offer that kind of deal to everyone. So you owe me. It's hard not to be frustrated without Terry just attempted to use me, but I don't think she meant too much harm by it, so it's forgivable. And I guess to me owing her something, I'm not quite sure about that logic. Right. And what exactly do I owe you? Terry offers the same confident smile as earlier in response to my question, which is a little worrying. Maybe this is the true reason she's been talking to me? Perhaps she planned out these whole conversations I wouldn't have been indebted to her. Then again, I don't think Terry is that calculating. How about we start off with paying for my lunch today? You're stealing my lunch money? I'm disappointed in her scheming, to say the least. Making me pay for lunch is the best she could come up with? Only for today. This is the only time the school actually has fried food the whole year. So, my wallet is going to get pilfered because you like having fast food binges? Terry pays no heed to my question and instead turns on her heels, makes her way down the path to school. I guess that's a yes. One of the things about the school that I truly like is the lack of assigned seating. Anyone is free to sit anywhere unless you're late, then seats are limited. Today I'm forced to sit in the back row with Eric, but he has this unexpected weird melancholy look on his face. Hey Eric. Oh hey, you have different clothes. Nice. Hey man. Something wrong? Everything. Everything is wrong? But today is so nice and everything is going to go great. Eric groans, finally glancing in my direction to whisper under his breath. I'm gonna ask Emmy out today. Taking a closer look, I see that he's staring wistfully at the back of the head, the girl who's sitting a few tables in front of us. Oh? Sorry, I had to turn my volume down. I glance back towards the guy we assume is Amy, only to feel an elbow jabbed into my side from Eric. Don't look at her, man, she'll notice! Ow, sheesh, alright. Well, good luck with that. Thanks, I'm going to need it. I've never been good with chicks. Thinking back, I never was either, and Michaela was a lucky break in terms of asking a girl out. But we had been friends for a period of time before that, so even that is a little different. Same here. I just don't know, man. She's so cute and we're into the same kind of stuff. Well, usually common interests help. The presence of a shadow looming over our table directs my attention forward, only to see Mr. Muller staring it down at us. So, Marcus and Eric, could you remind me what groups you were assigned to? Eric groans out, simply smacking his head into the table before sighing. No, we can't. I was talking with Marcus. About what exactly? Marlon's attention is mostly directed towards Eric, who is taking the blame for this one, it seems. But they can't just leave me hanging, it's been a buddy since day one. We're talking about unrelated stuff, sorry Mr. Marlon. Ah, well, I'll repeat myself. One last time. Mr. Marlon clears his throat, repeating a list of names and then assigning them to a group. Eventually I hear my own name paired with Elric and Yuko's. Once again, Marcus, Elric and Yuko is group 9. We'll be meeting at the front desk. And finally, Alan, Amy, Claire and Chaz in group 10 will be meeting in front of the lunch counter. As I said, you'll all have a teacher who will be your directors and will put you to work for the day doing festival related things. Are there any questions? The entire room is silent, which is enough of a hint for Mr. Mallow to nod and wave us off. Off to find your groups then, everyone try and have a good time. Eric and Yuko stand and I simply follow their lead. Group 9 is composed of only 4 people I know. Eric, Yuko, Taryn and Elizabeth, who is our supervising teacher. They're staring too? Yeah! Fuck yes! Oh man, I'm so happy. The rest of the group is a mix of different homeroom students I haven't interacted much with. Yeah, with the group setting, it doesn't change much in that none of them bat an eye in my direction. I guess the new kid label has gratefully already worn off. Good morning, everyone. This year you'll be manning the Find the Candy stand. There are a series of groans, which I can only imagine a reaction of disappointment. I don't have any idea what this means and couldn't use a translator, so I give Terry's arm a little nudge before murmuring under my breath. Hey, what's the deal Hey, what's the deal with this thing? She glances my way and smirks. We get to watch little kids stuff their faces with whipped cream looking for a candy in the middle of them. What? It's funny to watch, just trust me. If only trusting you was easy. I keep tearing a small grin, figuring I'd get a few jabs at her for all the crap I had to tolerate. Why am I speaking so low volume? Yeah, whatever. Either way, I get to watch little kids look like idiots, so I'm all for it, I guess. No, fuck! Okay, you can go back. So you're glad we didn't skip? Darren gives him a small, careless shrug. I never said that, but I'm okay with this instead. I direct my attention back towards Elizabeth, who has been explaining for the past minute or so about what I asked Darren with more unnecessary details. Alright, now we're going to split up into groups to cover more ground. Me and Darren. Yes! Marcus, Darren and Yuko will be going across the street to buy extra whipped cream and more candy. The rest of us will be working on putting the stand together. Elizabeth gazes at Taryn and then me with an indecisive look on her face before her eyes shoot to Yuko, brightening up at the sight of her. Ah, Yuko, here you go. Elizabeth hands Yuko a stack of dollar bills. I can only imagine the look before and was suspect of Taryn and my responsibility with money. Fuck you, Elizabeth. Fuck you. Thanks, how much do you think we'll need? Just buy as many as you can. Let's buy all the whipped cream and all the candy. Alright. Taryn glances towards me, probably thinking the same thing about Elizabeth's doubt. I offer a small careless shrug until he just rolls her eyes. Yuko turns and offers us both a small polite smile, bowing her head to us as if just now acknowledging our presence in the group. Hello, are you two ready? Terin lets out a small huff of hair as if annoyed by the new situation and gives Yuka a very snappy quick answer. Yeah, sure. Yukon doesn't pay it any mind and looks to me with hospitality. Yep. Okay, let's go. Yuko leads the way across the street towards the market with long strides, making it difficult for me to keep up. Terin, on the other hand, regardless of her shortness, seems to be keeping up just fine. But she has to take nearly twice as many steps to keep up, so in a way she looks like one of those wind-up toys that jitter the legs to move forward. It's also a strange thing to notice, but her hair flows with each step, bouncing against her back like it was its own separate entity. I can't imagine having that much weight straining on the back of someone's head, or even more so, how much of a mop it must become when wet. I wonder if Terin has ever thought of using something as simple as a hair tie to pull her hair into a ponytail. If anything, make her look a little less scrappy and maybe even girlier. Honestly, I don't know what Terin is aiming for. I know some girls like to be girly, and others prefer to be a bit more tomboyish. But she's just a weird mix of both. I'm tempted to ask it about it, but something like that is better for a one-on-one conversation. Besides, I don't want to make myself look like an idiot in front of Yuko. Terin's obnoxious space steps only come to a stop once we reach the dairy aisle inside the supermarket. Alright, you guys get as many as you can hold in your hands and I'll go get the candy. See you at the registers. Yuko prances off gracefully, which in comparison to how Terin walks is like a cat on a high wire. The best way of describing Terin's strut is, well, if anything, it's like a small dog waddling around at 100 steps a minute. Or well, maybe it's not the best way to describe it, but it's not very graceful or girly. By the time I glance back towards Terin, she already has a bag filled with whipped cream beside her feet. She settles her hands along her hips and gives me a curious look. Checking Yuko out? Are you jealous? The abrupt assumption on Terin's part leaves me only able to blush and shake my head. No, I was just thinking. About what? About you, baby, hello. I reach up and rub my face as if it would wipe away the embarrassed you, before I grin, coming up with a snide remark to push Terin's buttons. About how girly she is compared to you. Terin immediately hardens her gaze, put off by the comments. It stinks, doesn't it? You're girly too, always blushing and stuttering like an idiot. I'm caught a little more off guard by that, then just go at her. I don't stutter that much. Whatever, are you going to help or what? I take a deep breath and sigh, accepting the fact that Terin was changing the subject because it was an argument she wouldn't win, and start to collect the milk and sugar-based substance used to top pies and cakes. Also called whipped cream? Could you just call it whipped cream? No? You had to go and say milk and sugar-based substance used to top pies and cakes. Yeah. Fuck you. I've never really liked whipped cream, it's always just tasted like air to me, but whenever I made a remark about it at my old school, everyone and their brother nagged me about it. I assume it's the same here, so it's just best I just keep my mouth shut. I have other things I can talk about anyways, for example, Terin's hair. Man, that sounds creepy. Hey, how come you never wear your hair in a ponytail? Terin just gives me that dull look again. How come you ask so many stupid weird questions? Sorry, just trying to get to know you better, sheesh. That just takes time. Don't questions help you get to know people better? If you had to ask about the whole deal at my old school, you'd have no idea. I would have found out eventually anyways. I found out everything. Right. Terin just grunts in disapproval. Huh. Either way, I don't wear my hair in a ponytail just because it makes me look like I'm 10. So what's the difference between now and the ponytail? You don't already? Yeah, that's what I said. Taryn simply rolls her eyes again before grabbing her bag of cans and venturing towards the registers. I follow, and surprisingly, Hugo is nowhere to be seen. I guess finding the right candy was more of a challenge than she expected. You know, the dent in your wallet today is based on how much of an ass you are. She has a point, at least to an extent. And I really did agree that I'd be buying her food, but from the depths of my generosity, I suppose I can spare a few dollars to let a scrawny little blonde kid eat their fair share of fried and unhealthy food. Alright, so how am I supposed to treat you? Taryn blinks at my question, a small grin forming on her lips. Like a king. King? Not a queen? Psh, as if. Everyone knows queens don't actually have any power in governments aside from England's. What king do you want to be treated like? Louis XVI? Oh man! Who are they? A French guy? Sounds fancy, sure. Yeah. Alright, well by the end of the day you'll get beheaded by guillotine. Taryn just purses her lips and looks at me curiously. Guillo what? Wow, you don't really... Are you serious? Guillotine is what they used to back in the day to execute people. Well, wait, I'm being executed? For what? For high treason against the state of France, of course. I don't... I'm gonna... No. Fuck. I'm gonna try. Oui, et oui, Napoléon a pris le pouvoir sous le consulat français. Puis est devenu l'empereur de France, des Français. I think I read that right. The familiar voice comes from none other than Yuko, who has a bright smile on her face. Taryn doesn't seem very enthusiastic about the fact Yuko can speak another language and simply crosses her arms. The hell did you just say? Oh, wow. You speak French? I'm part French. Would have never known. I could teach you too some French if you'd like. I don't have time to learn French. Taryn gives a small laugh, mumbling something under her breath before handing over the bag of the cans, using me as an in-between to interact with Yuko. I'm a little bit worried Yuko might be offended at Taryn's comment, but she doesn't even bat an eyelash, not bothered one bit by Taryn's insolence. Yuko must have a lot of patience, figuring she helped me out on my first day and the amount of crap she takes from people who don't seem to like her for no reason. Well, I suppose if anything, Taryn might just be jealous of her feminine features. But aside from that, I can't see why anyone would hate Yuko. I can't see. I shake my head and set the bags onto the conveyor belt of the register and let the cashier unpack everything and repack it before charging Yuko with the final price. I think I'll pass, thank you though. I read up a little on French history last year. Oh? Yeah, ancient wars and battles were always pretty interesting to me, so I always got into the habit of looking at figureheads. France has a good deal of generals. Joan of Arc and Napoleon were my favorites. Yuko grins and tilts her head towards me, as if suggesting that I should share my own favorites. Huh. I always thought Hannibal was an iconic commander. Ancient history nerds. You know, history is a good thing to learn from, Taryn, so we don't repeat our mistakes. You forgot a comma there. I give not A. I give an approving nod to support Yuko's statement, but Taryn doesn't seem interested either way. Disregarding Taryn's lack of educational motivation, Yuko turns to pay the cashier, leaving me to shoot a scolding glance at Taryn. What's with the commas now? Now there's too many of them. You know, Yuko has a point. Yeah, well, I take things one step at a time. I started reading that book. Is that good enough for now? Are you enjoying it? Taryn gives a small shrug and waves a hand, dismissing the subject. It's okay. I've gotten through about half the book so far, so it's a little bit of an eye-opener. A lot of it is philosophical stuff, ranging from how human society works and why it's going to fail. I think Taryn is clever enough to understand it, but she doesn't act like it most of the time, so I might be wrong. Yuko settles with the cashier and hands me the 2 bags filled with cans before picking up her own bag of candies. I toss one of the bags to Taryn, who clumsily catches it with the tips of her fingers. We step outside and Yuko turns to us, offering a small playful grin. Are you two ready? Taryn and I share a confused look before peering at Yuko curiously, unsure as to what she was asking. All the elementary schools got invited to the festival today. Wait, what? Taryn's eyes widen and she quickly gains a panicked look. Wait, what? What did I say? What's that mean? Well, usually we don't invite schools and all the guests are just local families. Taryn glares at me with a newly formed heated passion of hate. Yeah, with her being so small and armless, the gaze does more than enough to tighten my muscles and cause me to sway from her for my own safety. God damn it, I told you we should have skipped. Yuko blinks, looking between us in disbelief, and I can do nothing more than gag, choking on the words that I'm able to get out. You were going to skip? Why? Taryn growls slightly, looking at Yuko for a moment before glaring back at me, as if it was my fault for this whole day. Well, I for one don't like dealing with little bratty kids. Yuko frowns, crossing her arms adamantly. But a lot of the kids look forward to this for the whole year. They really appreciate everything we do for them. Yeah, right. You can ask anyone and they'll tell you that all the kids are snobby brats to us. Yuko sighs, shaking her head and turning to pace down the street. Apparently she has no interest in debating something like this with Taryn. I sigh in defeat and just look at Taryn with a shrug. You might as well just send me your wallet at this point. I honestly doubt that the angry short girl could possibly eat so much that she would clean out my own wallet. We'll see, but if we had to deal with a lot of kids, we should probably hurry back. I hate her best fast. I pat Taryn's head, offering a small amount of sympathy to help her get over the fact that she hated everything about the event aside from the food. You'll get over it. You can only play and win once, kids. Scram! Why did they make the text white? I can't read. Ulrich waves his hand forward in a brushing motion to shoo off a group of kids with remnants of whipped cream smeared on their faces. They scatter and run about to go look for other games to play. Ulrich glances up at me before letting out an exhausted sigh. Sheesh, man, I'm so glad I don't have to deal with this stuff next year. I had to put up with these twerps for 4 years. Oh, yeah, high school lasts 4 years in America. I forgot about that. Here in Italy it lasts 5 years. Yep. I give a small shrug of indecision, unsure of what attitude I should have towards the festival. In fact, I don't really have to have an opinion, figuring this will be only time I ever participate in it, unless I fail this year, but that's not part of my plans likely. Either way, the weather has kept up the whole day, seems to be going well. Our stand, one of the about 15 scattered around campus, hasn't had much of an overflow of people. We've been taking shifts so that other people in our group can take a break and enjoy the festival for what it's worth as a guest, instead of being stuck as an operator the whole time. My shift includes Eric and Taryn and another girl who doesn't seem very interested in conversation with the three of us. In all honesty, Eric and I are doing most of the work, while Taryn and the other girl are mostly just sitting around doing nothing useful. Hey Taryn. What? Want to let Eric have a break and take this spot? Eric doesn't wait for Taryn's response, simply giving Taryn's back a fair and thankful slap. Ah, thanks Taryn, I'll see you guys later. Taryn cringes at the slap, gritting her teeth as she was going to bite Eric's hand off. I give a small note to the other girl who takes her leave with Eric, leaving Taryn and me to man the station until the next shift arrived. We're alone together. You're something else, you know that? He looked bored. So you think putting me to work is going to change that? I take in a deep breath and give Terry a small but confident nod. Yes. Terry opens his mouth to give a response, but is interrupted by the sound of the little boy smacking his hands down on the stand table. Hey! You guys are ugly! Let me play this stupid game! Both of us glance down to spot a little blue-eyed kid with brown hair with an awfully ugly face. One that only a mother could love. Well, take a seat. I reach to grab a can of whipped cream and a plate, letting Terry take care of the candy bag. Oddly enough, I can't move my wrist because Terry wraps her fingers around it, keeping me from doing my job. Huh? She leans closer, whispering under her breath. This kid is a total punk. We should give him a taste of his own medicine. I don't really think... What's taking so long, you losers? Right. So the goal is if you're able to find the candy, you win a coupon for a chance to win a prize at the gift stand. I know already. Shut up, stupid idiot. This scene is so cliched, it hurts my balls. Brr. I can't help but flinch at how this ignorant and pathetic little kid interacts with adults, and I'm half tempted to smack him over the head with a chair, or grab him by the ear and bring him to his mother. That wouldn't be morally correct though, even if he really did deserve it. Well, I guess I can let Terry have her way. Besides, if anything bad happens, she can take the blame, right? Terry grins and takes a paper plate, pretending to place a candy in the middle of it before spraying a bit of the substance in the middle of it. I guess she has the same idea as me. Fucking guy selling fish, let me pause. Here you go, little boy. I have to click again. The little boy plunges his face into the pile of whipped cream with the grace of a fish out of water, smearing over his forehead before coming to the realization that there was no candy inside it. Meaning there was no way for him to win. Hey, there's no candy in here, you messed up, stupid idiots! I always change his voice. Terry gives the little boy the fakest smile I've ever seen and just refills the plate, this time teasing him and only putting enough whipped cream on the candy to cover it. Here you go, I'm very sorry about that. You did it wrong again, there has to be more! Oh, I'm sorry, well, you are the expert, I got it this time. Terry looks at me, grinning cynically as she presses down on the nozzle of the canister with her finger until the whole can was empty. The outcome is a massive pile of whipped cream spiraling towards the sky from the paper plate, and a wide-eyed kid looking at it in awe. That's too much, lady. Sorry, what? I couldn't hear you. Terry scoops a hand to her ear, gesturing for the boy to lean forward so that it would be easier to hear. I know for a fact that she can hear him just fine, but this must be part of her plan or something. The little boy leans forward, leaning a bit louder at Terry. You did it wrong, that's too much! Terry blinks a few times, pretending to be completely clueless. The little boy scowls, leaning closer so that his head is looming over the tower of whipped cream Terry had made specifically just for him. You did it wrong! Within the blink of an eye, Terry's hand clutches at the back of the kid's head, only to smash it down into the pile of whipped cream with an audible thud, smacking the poor kid's head right into the table through the white sugary dessert topping. You wrote dessert wrong. You wrote desert. Terry lets go immediately, looking down innocently to clean off her fingers with a paper towel. I'm stunned in place, scanning the area around us, making sure no one witnessed what Terry just did, in the fear that I would get us expelled or something worse. Whoa, what's with me today? The boy steers up from his whipped cream pillow and whines, his full face coated in a white sugary beard, tears starting to well from his white puff under his eyes. I'm gonna go tell on you, you bitch. Terry looks up from her fingers and gives the boy a dreadfully scary grin. If you do that, you better check under your bed tonight before you go to sleep. She gives the boy a wink, which is a way which in a way is almost a sadistic way of promising that she was going to be there to wrangle him to death. If I were in his position, I would have probably peed my pants by now. Run along now, little guy. The little boy, stunned with fear, fumbles away, small remnants of his whipped cream beard trickling behind him. I turn to Taryn, staring at her blankly. She simply offers me a smile, throwing the paper towel away to secure her innocence for good. What? You deserved it. She grins, leaning into me suggestively as if I was part of her joke. I'll bet whenever he gets food with whipped cream on it from now on, he'll think of it. You're evil. I know, but that's why you talk to me so much. Debatable. Well, what's done is done. I'd like to think we taught the kid a lesson. We thought, whoa, what? The sound of Hugo's voice makes us both freeze, hoping that she didn't see Taryn committed such a foul act to a youngster, even if they deserved it. Nothing! Nothing? Oh, well, alright. You guys are welcome to take your break. We'll take over there for the rest of the day. Yes, let's go on a date! Taryn's eyes widen with excitement at the idea of not having to do any more work, but her stomach gives an audible growl that is loud enough for all of us to hear. Oh, thank God, I'm starving. Marcus, let's go, give me your wallet. It's kind of a weird system, all the guests get to eat for free if they win coupons from the games. But if you're a student, you have to pay for the food or do extra work. I don't entirely agree with it, but money has never really stuck to my fingers, so it's easy to part with it, as long as it's helping a friend. And I suppose feeding Taryn is helpful, as long as she doesn't completely kill off my wallet and have to get more from my parents. Hugo smiles at us, completely oblivious to the truth of what Taryn had done, and I suppose I am also a culprit for letting her do it. Oh, hey, Hugo, what's the deal with the party thing at your hotel tonight? It's not my hotel, it's my father's. Hugo gives me a stern nod, correcting my mistake informatively. Right, sorry. But I suppose you need a ride? Yeah, I do. I glance at Taryn and raise an eyebrow, silently questioning whether or not she was even going. Hugo does the same and Taryn's stomach just growls, which rushes her answer due to her growing hunger. Yeah, sure, fine, I'll go. Yes! I smile, happy to know that even if Taryn didn't like the idea of the party, she'd still be willing to come along. Alright, well, I'll pick you two up at the front of the school at about 5. You're welcome to dress casual or fancy, either is acceptable. Alright, see you then, thanks. I'm gonna wear my uniform, like every freaking day. Taryn and I step out from behind the stand and immediately head towards the fragrance of food. I'm fairly hungry myself, so a meal doesn't sound too out of the question. We end up standing at the counter of the fried chicken stand, greeted by none other than Matt in his signature white sweatshirt. I'm starting to think it's the only thing he wears. Hey yo, it's my boy Busy! What can I hook you up with today, my player? Just 2 meals? Whatever you guys have? Behind Matt I can spot Jay and a few other kids who I don't quite know. You wrote quite wrong. You wrote quiet. But do look familiar cooking and prepping food for each other. Oh, Jay's here too? Matt glances back to look at Jay and start to laugh, glancing back at me and lowering his voice. Man, I thought I was the only one who thought it was ironic that he got assigned to the fried chicken stand. What? I think I'm starting to notice how judgmental the faculty is. Right, whatever, how much do I... Oh, because he's black. Fried chicken, right. So, how much do I owe you? Matt looks around for a moment before shaking his head. This one's on me, champ. Are you even allowed to do that? And the guy's coming back, sorry, I missed the pause. Okay, I'm back. Nothing passed for you, it was like a second for you, but it was a good minute for me. Then he shoves her elbow into my ribs. Don't question free food, you dork. I'd prefer not to get into more trouble than we probably will if that kid told anyone about you. You worry too much. and you brought 2 wrong. Wow, this part is full of spelling errors. Or maybe you don't worry enough. Or maybe you both don't have enough swag. Matt gives us a cheesy grin that makes me want to punch him square in the face just for being obnoxious. Order up. Thanks, Jay pauses and looks at Matt with a long, unnerving stare that will make any normal person uncomfortable. Matt doesn't recoil from the glance at all. Instead, he takes the food and passes it off to Taryn and we with a content smile. You owe me, Omi. I knew there were strings attached. Oh well, thanks, Matt. Taryn and I step away and sit down at the nearest picnic bench to eat and start to chow down. I take a bite and swallow it down with a satisfying groan, overjoyed with my stomach being filled with food after a long year of tedious mental anguish. Working with kids is my worst nightmare, but the delicious but not so healthy food is more than enough reward to make up for it. This party is gonna last an hour if this keeps going. Taryn, on the other hand, seems to be troubled and keeps glancing over at the stand Matt and Jay are walking in. Something wrong? Do you think Jay likes being black? What? I tweak my eyebrow at the question and just stare at her. What the hell kind of question is that? What do you mean? Well, do you think he likes letting called man? Why would he? It's the meaning. Right, but I mean, black people call each other that all the time and it's totally cool. I take another bite and continue to listen, not seeing the point Taryn was trying to make just yet. I mean, if a white person calls them that, it's racist, right? Technically, anyone calling them that is racist. But why does society train people to think that it's okay for black people to say it, but not whites? Why not say everyone can say it, or none at all? Taryn purses her lips and gives a huffy sigh, looking back towards me with a curious gleam in her eyes. Would you be okay if I called you Whitey or Cracker all the time? Well, no, I'd prefer to be called by my name. Then, don't you think Jay might feel that way too? Are you saying Matt is racist? I'm saying Matt is stupid, which might as well be the same thing, but the fact he says stuff like this doesn't help anyone. I don't really understand what you're getting at, but alright. Whatever, you wouldn't understand, you honky. Right. Taryn rolls her eyes and takes a bite out of her food, letting the conversation die into nothing more than a cacophony of chewing. The day is slowly progressing and as time passes, so do the crowds of children and parents. Taryn and I sit at the base of the tree where I had found her reading. Together we watch the children run about with their families trailing behind, waiting for the time to come when the harvest festival will finally end. In a way, watching all the little kids having such a great time makes me think back on my own childhood, and if I actually really ever did have fun, or if it was just fun because I was just a little kid. Maybe I'm just being strange, perhaps a second opinion would help. I glance over to Taryn, watching her nibble at the last cookie I was forced to buy her, until she notices me and raises an eyebrow at me. What? Again with the close-ups? What was your childhood like? Taryn lowers her eyebrows, looking at me distastefully. It was average? Why? Did you have fun? Fun? I point out towards all the kids and students working and enjoying the festival. Yeah, do you think they have fun? We step back out, letting the sound of happy children mix with content adults and students chatting and cooking fill the air. Everyone seems to be having a good time, but for some reason I'm left wondering if any of this actually means anything to the little kids, especially for the ones that Taryn punished for being so bratty. When I look back and think about the carnivals and places my parents took me, they were always really fun, but now at my age, are they actually any fun? From a teenage perspective, fun becomes this abstract word. Are board games fun? Are books fun? Are movies fun? Yeah, I think so. The girl smiles, nodding her head as she takes the last bite of her cookie. We might not have fun, but the fact is that they're having fun. Fun is kind of based on the perspective of the person. What do you think is fun? Well, I think video games are fun. What about you? I'm not really sure. Then purses her lips in thought before giving a careless shrug. I haven't genuinely had fun in a while, I don't really remember. Well, that's depressing. But I can't help but feel like that statement isn't true. Fun is contagious in most cases. And Terry and I have some sort of connection that we all share interests, but I'm not sure what it is. Well, maybe the party will be fun tonight. Doubt it, but we'll see. Hopefully they actually have stuff to do. Speaking of which, I shuffled through my pocket, pulling my phone out to check the time on it to find we still had about an hour before the festival ended, and the students would be heading to the Beaumont's hotel. Only a little bit till we got to go. Terry groans slightly and bends her knees, sitting up to latch her arms around her shins. Shins? Swaying back and forth idly. What do you think is going to be there that's fun? The question is just a sort of smile, but about fun. About fun was to Terry. What, the party will be fun? Well, I have no idea. I suppose just spending time with the people in my new life is fun enough, isn't it? Maybe the adults and parents here today are having fun just because they're getting to spend time with their families. Or maybe it's just the human connection. The fact that people can come together to enjoy something, be thankful for what they have, and appreciate what others give them. Perhaps fun is actually just a simple concept of people doing things together, because of their connections, because they care, or are interested in someone. Tenny smacks the side of my head down into my shoulder. Tenny smacks the side of her head down into my shoulder, gaining enough of my attention for me to gawk down at her questionably. I stared up to expectantly, waiting for my answer. I don't think anything that the party will be fun, because fun things are hard to come by these days. But what if instead of thinking about the fact of what the party has to offer, and more so of what other people at the party have to offer, well, then maybe that could be fun. Is staring fun? We've never really done anything that would be considered fun together, considering we all we've done in the past 2 weeks is chat or argue. But something about her entertains me, and entertainment is the source of fun, isn't it? Perhaps I entertain her in the same way, and maybe we're drawn to each other because of our fascination with one another's personalities. Is that what fun is? Are you deaf or something? Yes, I think that is what fun is. It might not be the dictionary definition, but I think fun is fascination, curiosity, the impulse to learn and to understand. Because when you think about it, once you play a game long enough, you get bored of it because you get too good at it. Well, that's not really true. I have more fun when I know everything about the game. You're just too good at it. But you can never learn another person in the same way you learn a game. People's personalities and responses are endless with possibilities, an endless amount of variables to affect each outcome. And in the end, sometimes we want to figure out each of them, like we want to know every inch of someone's personality, because somewhere along the road, they caught your eye as someone interesting. Taryn is interesting, so does this make her fun to be around? Hello? Are you alive? Yeah, sorry. Taryn gives me a concerned guess that he was losing my mind or I had said something completely unnatural. You sure? You spaced out there for a while. Thought maybe you were having a brain froth or something. I scratched the back of my neck, dragging my mind out of the philosophical gutter that I was just in, only to meet back into the real sane world with Taryn. That would be bad, I was just thinking about something, sorry. Well, it's better that you were using your brain than having it explode. Hey, Taryn? She paused, looking at me questioningly again. Hi? It was a question. It was an answer. She gives me a wide grin with a smart-ass answer that forces a smile to my lips. Smart-ass. What do you want? Taryn glances away from me to watch a couple passing by with a young child who looks relatively similar to me, same skin tone and the same haircut and texture. I think that what she notices about him that spikes her interest. It's really like a mini-me. The only major difference I can tell is that the kid's parents don't look anything like my own, but the fact still remains that he looks like a younger version of me, or at least how I remember looking when I was younger. Taryn watches as the family walks out towards the school parking lot, most likely departing after a long day of family fun. Taryn, am I fun? Denning stares out at the location of where the family disappears from view, glancing back at me with a contemplative hint in her eyes. Well, am I? You're interesting. Is that fun? I think so. Then yes, you are fun. So I'm interesting? Sometimes. Other times you are as boring as a log. I try. We share a grin and I give her side a soft nudge, which she returns sarcastically. Time slowly passes as we watch the family vacate the campus one by one, returning to their regularly scheduled lives. The sky darkens and the sound of smells of the festival drifts off into nothing more than clean, placid vineyard air. With the festival coming to an— what the fuck? It's 5 and it's already nighttime? With the festival coming to an end, the school campus is quiet, almost gloomy with the exhaustion from the day of work. This time of year, nightfall comes depressingly early in the day, which makes everything even more of a hassle. I mean, okay? I don't know. I don't know why that is. I mean, unless it's November. But no, they said it was autumn. November is autumn. If it's November, I can understand that it's nighttime like at 5. And if it's like, it's the first. He said this was the first week of school, so that means it's either September or if he joined afterwards, it could be October. But it's the 19th of September today. No, it's the 20th. The 20th of September, and it doesn't get nighttime until 8. You know what, never mind. It's not noticeable at first, but slowly the days begin to get shorter and shorter, and before you know it, by the time you're dismissed from school, the sun is already setting. The front of the school is alive with students, talking and bending among themselves as to what they're doing tonight. Some are heading to the Blue Mounts party, others are going to a different party, and some are just taking the night easy and returning to their dorms. I can't blame them, it's starting to get cold and soon enough, I'm sure it will start to snow. Yeah, right. October? Ugh. Although the chances of a snow day at this school are probably really slim. Shame, I really enjoy snow days. But just thinking about the fact winter is so close around the corner makes me shiver. I rub my hands idly together to get a little heat with my palms, only to find Terry standing with her arms crossed in front of me, looking down at where I'm sitting. Cold already? Kind of. Terry reaches into her uniform pockets with a hum, only to yank out a pair of dainty-looking gloves offering them to me. I take them in my hands, quickly realizing that they were probably too small for my paws, and hand them back to her with a shake of my head. They won't fit, thanks though. She rolls her eyes, not believing the fact that my hands will be busy to blink for the gloves. If you say so. She simply stuffs them back into her pockets and glances to my side, offering a nod in the direction. I follow her glance until I find myself looking towards Yuko. Oh, hey. Hey, you two, ready to get going? Did you need to head to the dumps for anything? Already went. Well, if Tan is ready, I'm good to go. Yuko nods, gesturing for us to follow into the school parking lot. It's been 1 hour and 4 minutes. I'm so sorry, I should have stopped earlier. I know this is kind of a cliffhanger, but I'm gonna call a part here. So, thank you very much for watching, hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.